Hi, this is Joe Rebelo with the Dartmouth Council on Aging, and I've been asked to do an instructional video for, again, the Dartmouth Community Television, and talking about the art that we do here at the Council on Aging, the art of Tai Chi. Tai Chi is an ancient Chinese health exercise and internal martial art. It focuses on slow motion breathing and motion, learning to control the natural systems within the body, also focusing on improving and maintaining your balance, and becoming more aware and cognizant of the natural systems of your body, the nervous system, the circulatory system, the cardiovascular system. This is a non-aerobic, yet aerobic exercise. We say non-aerobic because not high intensity, however, aerobic by utilizing a large amount of air and controlling our breath. That being said, let's begin our formal class. We come to attention, back straight, proper posture. At the beginning of class, when we bow, a simple phrase, 师父好. With our bow of respect, 师父is Mandarin for teacher, father. Hao is hello. It means good. When you ask someone, 你好吗? 好不好? Hello, how are you? 好不好? Good, not good. Which one are you? Again, take our time with our actions and take our time with proper courtesy and respect as we bow. The first element of our Tai Chi class is the understanding of breathing. Again, the key ingredient as we all get older, our breathing patterns shorten. So it's all the more important we learn to control and regulate our breath. We'll begin with Dan Tian breathing. The Dan Tian is the golden furnace, a golden stove, located below the navel, above the groin, at the center of the hip girdle. An easy way to find that simply by bowing forward slightly to the natural fold point of your body. You'll take both your hands and lightly close them into fists. First knuckles, second knuckles, and then place your thumbs atop your hands like so. Take your two closed fists, placing them palms facing in at the Dan Tian. At this point, we'll begin our Dan Tian breathing. We're going to inhale through our nose. We're going to exhale through our nose. Again, the Chinese say the nose is for breathing, the mouth is for eating. We'll lightly take the tip of our tongue, place it on the roof of our palate, allow saliva, the jade elixir, to form on the underside of the palate. From here, we're going to inhale through our nose, allowing our chest to relax and allowing our abdomen to expand. And then as we exhale, we'll contract our abdomen, exhaling through our nose. Let's begin for 5 repetitions. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Once more. And exhale. Very good. At this point, we'll now progress on to ha. These are 2 of the Taoist healing sounds. The ancient Taoists that formulated the art of Tai Chi looked at the way the body cleansed itself of congestion, infection, and illness. In our society at this point, that becomes all the more important, and 2 of those basic actions are sneezing and coughing. The first sound is the sound a short, sharp exhalation through your nose designed to open your sinus and nasal passageways. We'll inhale deeply, allowing our lungs to expand, and then we'll lightly press on the Dan Tian, kind of stoking the furnace, if you will. And as we do so, we'll do so with the sound a short, sharp exhalation through our nose. Let's begin with 3 repetitions. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Once more. Inhale. Exhale. Very good. Now, the second sound we're going to do is the sound ha, a short, sharp exhalation through our mouth designed to open our lung cavity, the lower sections of our lungs, and get more out of every breath we take. Now again, we're going to do 3 repetitions. So we're going to inhale deeply. Exhale. Ha! Inhale. Exhale. Ha! Once more. Inhale. Exhale. Ha! At that point, drop your hands down to your sides. At this point, we will now go on to the keystone to balance. 3 simple words: bend your knees. If you're ever feeling a little dizzy, a little off kilter, a little unbalanced, first thing you automatically should do is bend your knees. By bending your knees, you root yourself to the earth. You solidify your base. You become more stable. So, from our attention stance with our feet together, we're going to inhale deeply and exhale and sink, bending our knees. Now, at this point, you're going to lift your left foot up on toe. Step out with your left foot out to horse stance distance. Now, I realize I'm not acting as a mirror image right now, but just follow along to the best of your ability. At this point, we'll now progress on to our warm-up and body loosening exercises. These focus on all the major joints of the body and utilize semicircular to full circular motion to increase our range of motion and overall flexibility in regards to our various joints of our body. Our first exercise is known as neck turns. From a natural stance, we'll slowly turn our head to the left, pause, and slowly turn our head to the right. Now, each time we turn our head to the right, we're going to count from 1 to 10 in Mandarin Chinese. And I know the first thing you may think, you may say, I'm not going to remember that. With time, practice, and repetition, you'd be amazed what you'll recall. 1 to 10 in Mandarin is Yi, Sang, Su, Wu, Liu, Qi, Ba, Zhou, Shi. Now, there are 4 basic tones used in Mandarin: a linear tone, an ascending tone, a descending tone, and a looping tone. To paraphrase that bandito from, I think, Treasure of the Sierra Madre, tones, we don't use no stinking tones. We're going to keep it monotone for our training. Let's begin. Slowly turn your head to the left, pause, and slowly turn your head to the right. Yi to your left, pause to your right. To your left, pause to your right. Sang to your left, pause to your right. Su to your left, pause to your right. Wu to your left, pause to your right. Liu to your left, pause to your right. Qi to your left, pause to your right. Ma to your left, pause to your right. Zhou to your left, pause to your right. Sure. And back to center. Next, we'll progress on to shoulder circles. Relaxing our arms completely, letting there be no stress or tension in our body. We're going to lift our shoulders up, around, and down. I was going to mention, don't lift your elbows up. Let your arms hang completely loose at your sides. Let's begin. Yi, Sang, Su, Wu, Liu, Qi, Ma, Zhou, Shi. Very good. Now, like the symbol we wear here, the yin and yang, Again, this is full circular action, moving clockwise or counterclockwise, forward or in reverse. Now, we'll reverse those circles. Yi, sang, su, wu, liu, qi, ma, zhou, shi. Very good. Now at this point, we're going to progress on to our next exercise, which is arm circles. In reality, it's really more than simply moving our arms. We're going to raise and lower our body as we move back and forth. So we're going to pull back a little bit and get a full body shot here, bending our knees, rooting ourselves to the earth, crossing our two hands in front of us, palms facing up. As we inhale, we're going to straighten our knees, lift our body up, and bring our hands up to the apex, the highest point of the circle. Then we'll turn our hands palm out, and as we exhale, we're going to bend our knees and sink down and return our hands back to our original position. Let's begin. Inhale. Yi. Sang, su, wu, liu, qi, ma, zhou, shi. Now from this position, we'll reverse the circles. Bring both our hands palm up as we straighten our knees, grabbing as much air as we can, reaching up, then crossing our hands, palms facing in, anchoring our elbows, bending our knees, and sinking our hands back down to the dantian position. Let's begin. Yi, sang, su, wu, liu, qi, ma, zhou, shi. And relax. Very good. At this point, we'll now progress on to our next warm-up exercise, which is known as wrist circles. This will help if you suffer from arthritis, bursitis, tendinitis, or carpal tunnel syndrome in relationship to your wrists. Simply place your hands together in a prayer position. And I always like to say the Tai Chi Prayer. I pray I can do Tai Chi every day. We're going to turn our hands palms facing out, pointing our fingertips forward, down, in, and up. And as I always tell all my students, be like the phone company. Keep in touch. Palms facing out. Let's begin. Yi, Sang, Su, Wu, Liu, Chi, Ma, Jo, Sure. Very good. Now we'll reverse the circles, opening both your hands as if you're reading a book, pointing your fingertips inward toward yourself, down, out, and up. Let's begin. Open the book and Yi, Sang, Su, Wu, Liu, Chi, Ma, Jo, Sure. Very good. Now at this point, again, as we want to keep on just about up to knee level, no corona. Okay. So again, we're going to start off with our waist twist. Now waist twist, again, we're going to swing our arms back and forth, letting our elbows bend and wrap around our body as we move from side to side. Take your time through the actions. Relax your arms completely, and also make sure that you turn your head from side to side as we do the exercise as well. Let's begin. Yi, Sang, Su, Wu, Liu, Chi, Ma, Jo, Sure. And relax. Very good. Now, we're going to go on to our final warm-up exercise, and at this point, we're going to take our left foot and we're going to draw it in about shoulder width apart. Now, again, we've been working on semicircular and full circular motion, and our final exercise is knee circles. Now, again, this is not a deep knee bend or heavy pressure upon the knees. Rather, we place our hands lightly on our thighs and make a small bend of our knees, and we'll just do a very small circular motion. So, starting off to, in this case, let's start off to our right, and Yi, Sang, Su, Wu, Liu, Chi, Ma, Jo, Sure. Now off to your left. Yi, Sang, Su, Wu, Liu, Chi, Ma, Jo, Sure. And relax. Our next section of our class focuses on Qigong, also known as Qigong or Qigong. Qi is the vital essence of life, air. Learning to synthesize air within our body, oxygenate our blood, regulate our internal organs is one of the key ingredients to life. Qi is also described as energy or spirit. I'm always reminded of going to a spirit rally or a pep rally. And of course the classic phrase, vim and vigor. And again, these are all in reference to manifestations of Qi and how we utilize it. Kong, or Gong, like Kung Fu, or as Bruce Lee would say in the old Green Hornet series, Gong Fu, is a reference not to martial arts or self-defense, but to time, hard work, and acquired skill. Think of anything you do well. It took time to learn how to do it. You had to work hard at it to become good at it. And of course, once you did, you were good at whatever that particular endeavor was. Now, what we're going to do here is the first exercise we're going to work on is a classic breathing exercise that coordinates all our breathing with motion. And this is known as the Hotai. Hotai, one in harmony with the universe. You'll see a Buddha many times, arms upraised above his head, a content smile upon his face. Maybe a hole where you put the straw for the drink at the Chinese restaurant. But anyway, this is also known as the pillar of heaven. It's a wonderful stretching as well as breathing exercise. So follow along with me. Again, palms facing up. We're going to inhale. Bring our hands up along our sides of our head. Turn our hands over. Reach, extend, and stretch. Then turn your hands palm in like you're doing a chin-up. Pulling your elbows back, stretching your chest. Turn your hands over, exhale, and press down to your sides. 5 repetitions. Let's begin. Yi. Sang. Su. And Wu. Our second exercise is the pressing of the pillars. Now from this position, we're going to place both our hands in a prayer position. We'll inhale deeply, and then we're going to reach, extend, and stretch our arms all the way out to our sides, extending and pressing, then slowly inhaling and returning our hands back to our original position. Let's begin. Inhale deeply. Exhale. Yi. Sang. Su. And Wu. Very good. Now, our next exercise is known as the Tai Chi Balloon. Visualize you're holding a small balloon in your hands. Your fingers are spread in direct alignment with each finger on the opposite hand. And as you inhale, the balloon will slowly inflate and expand. And then as you exhale, the balloon will slowly deflate and return back to its original position. Kind of like a reverse taffy pull, if you will. Let's begin. Inhale. Yi. Sang. Su. And Wu. Very good. Our next exercise is known as lion playing with the ball. Again, if you look in front of any major Chinese temples, there's always a set of lion dogs. The female has its one paw on a cub. The male has one paw on a large sphere or ball. In this case, we're going to place our right hand, palm facing down, wrist is relaxed, elbow is anchored, shoulder is relaxed, and our other hand will be in direct opposition to that hand. As we inhale, we're going to circle our hands slowly till they reach to the exact opposite position. Then we'll exhale, circling our hands back to our original position. Let's begin. Inhale. Exhale. Yi. Song. Su. Wu. Very good. Our next exercise is known as the opening and closing of the lotus. We take all 5 of our fingertips, touching them together. I'm reminded of that old Italian spaghetti sauce commercial. That's one spicy meatball. And placing your fingertips like so at waist level. And as we inhale deeply, we're going to fill our lungs with air. And as we exhale, we're going to reach, extend, and stretch our fingertips out as far as we can. And then slowly inhale, returning our fingertips back to our original position. Let's begin. Inhale. Exhale and stretch. And once more. And inhale. Exhale and relax. At this point, we'll now progress on to our lower body Qigong exercises with the action of roll back and push and withdraw and push. Now, to elaborate on this action, at one point I'm going to step sideways to give you a side view of the motion to detail the various stances. Facing front, I'm going to step forward with my right foot, placing both my hands out at waist level. So you can see my entire body as my wrists relax, my arms raise up straight, my elbows bend, rolling back. I lift my fingertips up, bring my hands down to my waist, and then push forward to the bow and arrow stance. Let's show you that from a side view, shall we? Let's. So with my right foot forward, my bow and arrow stance, my front toes pointed straight ahead, my front knees bent like a bow. 80% of my weight's on my front leg. My rear leg is like an arrow, straight, and my rear foot's pointing on a 45-degree angle, hence the bow and arrow. I'm going to relax my wrist, extend my arms up, then I'm going to bend my elbows, and then I'm going to rock back to the 7-star stance. My toe is pointing up in the air, and if you can't point your toe, keep your foot flat, but make sure your front leg is straight. But preferably, roll back on your heel. Your front leg is straight, your rear knee is bent. Now again, 80% on my back leg, 20% on my front. So again, I rock forward, I roll back. I rock forward, I roll back. Hey, I bet you never thought you'd learn in Tai Chi, rock and roll. But anyway, let's have some fun, shall we? So placing our right foot forward into bow and arrow stance, hands out in front of you. We'll do 5 repetitions. Relax your wrists, rise up, anchor your elbows, roll back, lift your fingertips up, bring your hands down to your waist, and then press forward to the bow and arrow stance. Let's begin. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, sinking down and push forward. Rise up, roll back, sink down, push forward. Yi, Inhale and exhale. Rise up, roll back, sink down, push forward. Sang, rise up, rolling back, sinking down, pushing forward. Su. Now visualize a wave rising, cresting, crashing upon the beach to recede back into the ocean. That's Wu. Now, for our next exercise, we're basically going to do the same upper body action, but now obviously our left leg will be forward. This is known in the Tai Chi form as withdraw and push. Step forward with your left foot to your bow and arrow stance, both hands out at waist level. Relax your wrists, rise up, withdraw, sink down, push forward. Rise up, withdraw, sink down, push forward. Let's count it off. Rise up, withdraw, sink down, push forward. Yi, rise up, withdraw, sink down, push forward. Rise up, feel the wave rise, crest, crash upon the beach, and then press out. Su, inhale, sink down, exhale, and push. Wu. And there you have it, your Tai Chi warm-up and body loosening exercises and your Qigong exercise. Now, there are hundreds of different forms of Qigong taught throughout the world. The key ingredient here is that we're focusing on just giving you a brief taste of Qigong. Just a few exercises that you can practice at home and, of course, practice here at your classes at the Dartmouth Council on Aging, as well as many other locations where we teach Tai Chi. At this point, we're now going to progress into the Tai Chi form. Now, there are many styles of Tai Chi, 5 major family styles of Tai Chi. The Chen's family, the Wu's family, the Yangs, or we're not Yankees, we're Yankees, Yang family, the Sun family, and the Fu family. And then there have been many different lesser-known offshoots of Tai Chi Chuan. Tai Chi, again, as we mentioned before, is slow motion movement. Some people call it meditation in motion. First phrase I always teach my Tai Chi students is, the slower you go, the more you know, the more aware you become of the natural systems of your body, your muscular system, your skeletal system, your nervous system, your cardiovascular system. All these different systems within our body you become more acutely aware of. Now, again, what we're going to show you is a short 24 movement for an abstraction of the Wu style of Tai Chi done through the Wu-Tang curriculum. That's right, I'm a real member of the real Wu-Tang Clan, not the rap group. But what we're going to do is we're going to go through these movements. Now, each one of these movements has a name. And again, it's either decorative or descriptive. The descriptive ones, as we always say, they are what they say they are. Press, roll back, push. The other actions are decorative. They're based on Chinese legend and folklore, or Broadway musicals. At this point, you can hear my lovely singing voice. Sunrise, sunset. Grasp the swallow's tail. White snake sticks out its tongue. Brushing the horse's mane. Embrace the tiger. Return to the mountain. As we go through these various exercises, now, again, we're not, for this particular program, we're not going to detail them out. This program is designed for people who are already my students, who've already studied it. Now, what I mean by not detailing out is that we're going to talk about it at one time, and then we're just going to flow through the movement a second time, and that'll complete our program for today. But at least it will give you a refresher for those of you who are studying with me, and perhaps a new student just looking at this program and go, wow, that looks kind of cool. I think I'd like to try that out. And again, you can do that through, again, the Council on Aging. But Let's go into our Tai Chi form, shall we? Let's. Because it's a linear form, northern China is filled with wide open spaces. Sounds like an old Western, doesn't it? We're only going to do one step to our right, and we'll do 9 steps to our left. Now, the complete master form, which is over 108 movements, obviously brings us all the way back to our original point. But again, this is just a short sequence from that much longer form. Allow me to demonstrate. The first time I do it, I'm just going to walk through the form, and I'll just name the major moves, and I'll detail it out for you. 24 movement, abstracted Wu's Tai Chi form. Cleansing breath, inhale. Exhale. A small bow of respect. Inhale. Exhale and sink. Left foot up on toe. Open to horse stance distance, bending your knees. Sunrise, sunset. Grasp the swallow's tail. Ward off. White snake sticks out its tongue. Brushing the horse's mane. Embrace the tiger, return to the mountain. Press. Roll back. Push. The great circle. Single whip. Fishtail blocks. Yi. Song. Brush knee, press forward. Playing the guitar. Brush knee, press forward right. Brush knee, press forward left. Brush knee, press forward right. Playing the guitar. Brush knee, press forward right. Snake climbs up a tree. Deflect downward, intercept and punch. Withdraw and push. The great circle. Cross hands, I should say. Conclusion of the Tai Chi form. And bow. I'm not used to doing it in that direction, so it kind of threw me off for a moment. But again, those are the major moves of the abstracted Wu's Tai Chi form. Now, I'm going to go over a brief explanation going through each movement, and then we'll conclude class for today, shall we? Let's begin. Back is straight with proper posture, arms loosely hanging down at your sides. Inhale deeply, a cleansing breath. And then exhale. Small bow of respect. Inhale. Then exhale and sink, bending your knees, rooting yourself to the earth, lifting your left foot up on toe in a close cat stance, stepping out with your left foot to horse stance distance and bending your knees. Our first action is sunrise, sunset. We're going to inhale, straightening our legs as our hands rise up, shoulder width apart to shoulder height, lifting our fingertips up. Then exhale, bending our knees, rooting ourselves to the earth as we bring our hands down to waist level. Our second movement is grasp the swallow's tail. Turning your left hand palm up as if you're checking for rain, lifting your right foot up on toe and sliding it behind the left foot in a T stance. Bringing your left hand all the way across your waist to your right hip like you're trying to grasp the tail of a swallow that flies by. Bringing your right hand across your chest, palm facing out, as if you're waving to a long-lost friend. Our third movement is ward off. Pivoting your right foot, realigning your hip girdle, circling your left leg out to the upper left-hand corner of the room in the 7-star stance, bending your knee, rounding your left arm across the horizon as your right hand comes down to your right hip. Our next movement is white snake sticks out its tongue. Pointing your left fingertips in, down, out, and up like half of a wrist circle, anchoring your elbow. Step up with your rear foot. Pivot on the ball of your left foot, turning diagonally to your right. Bring your left hand across your chest, palm down, right hand at your right hip, palm up. Right foot steps to 7-star, push down with your left hand, bend your knee, and poke with your right. Our next movement is brushing the horse's mane. Turn our hands over and brush both of our hands down to our left side. Our next movement is embrace the tiger, return to the mountain. Arms come up in a hugging posture from the 7-star stance. Left hand goes on the inside of your right wrist, checking your pulse, drawing your arms in, twisting your waist. And then our next movement is press, pressing forward to the inside of your right wrist, right elbow up, left elbow down. The left hand comes over the right, separates the hands apart for roll back. Rolling back, anchoring your elbow, lifting your fingertips, hands come down to your waist for push, bending your knee forward and pushing on a 45-degree angle. Our next movement is the great circle. Turn your left hand, palm facing up. Left hand comes up toward your face, right hand touching your elbow, pivoting on the balls of your feet, all the way to the low left-hand corner, and chop with a willow leaf palm. Your right hand forms a plum blossom, brush down to your right, draw your left foot in, and strike with your right hand. Our next movement is single whip. Bring your left hand up across your face, step to the left rear corner, bend your knee, and chop once again. Next, we'll go on to fishtail blocks. Dropping our right hand down, pointing fingertips back, right foot steps up and meets the left. Raise your right hand up as your left hand comes down and your left heel lifts at the same time. This is yi, or 1. Open your top hand, close your bottom hand, and exchange. Or 2. Open your top hand, close your bottom hand, and exchange once more for sang, or 3. Next, we'll progress on to brush, knee, press forward. Place your left foot down, drop your left hand down, open your right hand, turn it palm facing in. Right hand comes across your face and down as your left hand comes up to your left ear. Pivoting on the ball of your left foot, pointing the toes toward the left wall, brushing your knee to the 7-star stance or 70-30 stance. Draw your left foot in, left hand comes across your face and down, right hand up, left hand brushes your left leg, bend your knee and press forward. Next, playing the guitar. Draw up to the T stance, step out to 7-star, drop your hands down, left hand comes up, right hand touching the elbow. kind of like playing a bass cello more than just a guitar. From here, our next movement is brush knee, press forward right. Place your left foot down, drop your right hand down, draw your left foot in, left hand across your face and down, right hand up to your right ear, left hand brushes your left leg out to 7-star, bend your knee and press forward. Brush knee, press forward left. Right foot steps up and meets the left. Quarter turn to your left, facing the back wall. Right hand comes palm in across your face and down as your left hand comes up, brushing your right leg out to 7-star, bend your knee and press forward. Next, brush knee, press forward right. Step up, quarter turn to your right, left hand comes palm in, right hand up at the ear, brush your knee out to 7-star, bend your knee and press forward. Playing the guitar. Now we're going to rock back to our 7-star stance, lifting our left hand up, right hand touching our elbow. Brush knee, press forward right. Left foot down, right hand down. Draw your left foot in. Left hand comes across your face and down, right hand up. Brush your knee and press forward. Our next movement is snake climbs up a tree. Step up with your right foot. Quarter turn to your left with feet together. Parry. Lift. Chop. Poke. And guard. Next, deflect downward, intercept, and punch. Circle your right hand in a C, parrying an opponent's punch or grab. Grab them by the wrist. Right foot steps to 7-star, bend your knee to bow and arrow and turn the hand over. Left foot steps up and meets the right. Left hand comes across your face and presses down to your opponent's elbow. Left foot steps to 7-star, then bend your knee and punch. Next, withdraw and push. Hands come up, separate your hands apart. Withdraw back to the 7-star, sink down, and push forward to the bow and arrow stance. From here, cross hands. Right hand crosses below the left, bring both hands into the chest. Pivot on the heel of your left foot, the ball of your right foot. Rise up, open out, sink down. Crossing hands. Our final motion is conclusion of the Tai Chi form. Turning my hands over, separating your hands, lifting your fingertips up. Hands come down to your waist, all the way down to your sides. Left foot draws in and meets the right. Straighten your posture. And bow. And there you have it, the Tai Chi form. So again, there are many different styles of Tai Chi we teach through our curriculum, but here at the Council on Aging, our classes are available every Tuesday from 9 to 10 a.m. And of course, in the present coronavirus pandemic, as it were, we're doing this as a gift to you, the Dartmouth residents, and all over the world, as it were, having the availability for you to find out a little bit more about the art of Tai Chi. My name's Joe Rebelo. I've been involved in martial arts for over 52 years now. I have black belt instructor certification in no less than 24 martial arts: Chinese, Okinawan, Japanese, Korean, Filipino, and American martial arts. I always have the old phrase, jack of all trades, master of none. I'm a jack of all trades, master of several, and grandmaster in at least 3. I can count the 3 there. But I hope you enjoyed the art of Tai Chi. I know I enjoy doing it, and I enjoy sharing it with each and every one of you. So again, if you have an opportunity, please stop by the Council on Aging once we're over this situation. And also, like I said, for my present students who need something to practice with at home, here you are. If you've never done the art of Tai Chi and want to try it out, here you are. I hope that I've been of some service and some assistance to you. Until next time, this is Joe Rebelo. Keep training. And at the end of the class, we say a simple phrase, she she. Thank you. Thank you for your time, your patience, and your effort. And bukachi, you're welcome. You're welcome for your training and instruction. And until next time, shazhen, or goodbye for now.